Hello, my Belfast House Nation. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully, everyone's having a great day. If not, hope it gets better from here. All right, we are back with another lazy masquerade. This one is titled Exploring McKamey Manor, the world's darkest haunted house. This was actually suggested by a subscriber. All right, I'm excited to get into today's story. Let's go ahead, turn them lights down low, put on something comfy, cuddle up with someone special. Let's get spooky.
As many of you know, I like to cover real-life mysteries on this channel. Solved mysteries, unsolved mysteries, partially solved mysteries, ones from way back in the past, and ones that are still ongoing today. Heck, along with scary true stories, mysteries are this channel's bread and butter. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that I usually cover them in batches of 4 or 5. Recently, however, while searching online for some new cases to cover, I came across something I hadn't heard of before. McKamey Manor, supposedly the world's most extreme, immersive horror experience. This place caught my attention for being truly strange, twisted, and shrouded in mystery. And seeing how many of you are probably bored out of your minds right now, for obvious reasons, I thought this would be a good time to do a deep dive into this dark.
Nah, scared of them. I don't know nothing about McKamey Manor. Okay, let me read this real fast. McKamey Manor advertised as an extreme haunt, when in fact it is not a haunted house. It's a torture chamber under disguise. Reportedly, they do screenings to find the weakest, most easily manipulated people to do the haunt. It's reported that if Russ doesn't think you're easily manipulated, you are not allowed to go. What kind of fucked up shit is that?
Attraction, and see if we can figure out if the stories about this haunt are authentic, or if they're all just smoke and mirrors. Fair warning, I'll be using some video clips in this one that might disturb some of you. Try to stick with me.
Alright, hold on. Let me read the rest of this before it goes bye-bye. He uses loopholes to get out of being arrested. Previously, no safe word was allowed. He changed that, but there's been reports that the torture continues even when people repeat their safe word for several minutes. One man was tortured so badly he passed out multiple times. Workers only stopped because they thought they had killed him. Holy shitballs, Batman. Kind of. No,
Here we go.
no, 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 no.
So, first thing you're probably asking is, lazy, what even is McKamey Manor? According to many people, McKamey Manor is the most extreme haunted house you can legally visit in the USA, though the legality of some of the things that go on there is questionable to say the least. Basically, it's a place you can sign up to visit for a chance to live your very own, personalized horror movie. The attraction was set up by Russ McKamey, who started it up in San Diego, California, back in the early 2010s. A lot of people in the local area back then knew about the infamous McKamey Manor, which had been the source of many controversies and news headlines. A lot of stories were circulating throughout the community about what was going on at the place, and some of those stories were dark to say the least. The attraction, which billed itself as an audience participation survival horror event, had come to be known as a real-life torture chamber run by a psycho. People were going into the manor looking for a fun time, only to leave with both mental and physical scars. Due to all these rumours and controversies, the manor had to relocate to 2 separate locations in Alabama and Tennessee, locations that you can still visit to this day. But if you do find yourself accepted onto a McKamey Manor tour, you should go in knowing that it's not like other haunted houses or immersive experiences. There aren't any zombies, or ghosts, or jump scares inside. There isn't even really a manor at all, as most of what will happen to you will take place in the back of a windowless van. What there are paid actors, who are legally allowed to bind you, gag you, and make your deepest and darkest fears come to life. Now, that might not sound like your idea of a fun Sunday afternoon, but there are quite a few thrill seekers who are attracted to that type of experience. An opportunity to be pushed to their limits. That's why back in 2015, there was a waiting list of about 27,000 people, all of whom wanted to gain access to McKamey Manor. Well, that, and the chance to win $20,000. See, there's no charge to enter McKamey Manor at all. You just have to add your name to the sign-up list, and if McKamey selects you after a background check, it's completely free to enter. All the owner requests is that you bring a bag of dog food with you on the day of your event, which he'll donate to a local greyhound shelter.
Oh, it's kind of sweet. The rest of it sounds freaking terrifying, but that part was just, that's sweet.
Once inside, there are just 2 rules. No swearing, and no attacking the actors. If you can last 10 hours inside the manor, McKamey himself guarantees to pay you the $20,000 prize money. So far, not a single person has lasted the whole 10 hours. So, what are the controversies with the place? Well, we'll get to that shortly. First, let's assume you sign up to visit the manor and all goes well. You get selected, and Russ McKamey asks you to come and face your fears for a chance to win a fat cash prize. Before you start your day at the manor, you'll have to sign a suspicious legal document. A 40-page waiver. Here are a few of the waiver's main points. Article 19. Participant was warned numerous times about the intensity of McKamey Manor, and by the owners and other members of the crew, that you really don't want to do this. Article 20. Participant agrees and understands that your life in reality is not in danger, and that this is just a game. Article 21. Participant agrees and understands that during the tour and while in the van, they will not be secured by a seatbelt or any other safety device. Article 22. Participant understands and agrees that they are not being tortured and that this is just a game. Article 23. Participant understands and agrees that they are not being beat up, kicked, slugged, or actually physically harmed. They will be roughed up, but no one is there to hurt you. Knowing that, McKamey Manor is very rough and not for the meek. Participant will have bumps, bruises, possible black eyes, swelling of the face, etc.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like someone's beating the shit out of me. I've ran into stuff and I've not had that. No. That I am pretty sure in order for any of those things to happen to me, someone's doing something to me or has done something to me for that to happen.
Article 24. Participant understands and agrees that they are never being held against their will. After stressing several times that the experience is just a game, the points in the waiver start to become more and more bizarre. Article 28. Participant fully understands that by signing this waiver, they are giving McKamey Manor permission to keep nothing off the table. Everything imaginable can and will happen inside McKamey Manor. You're aware of this, and are giving full permission for any action that may happen inside McKamey Manor. Article 29. Participant agrees to and has full knowledge that if selected to visit the barber, participant may leave McKamey Manor completely bald, including eyebrows. Article 30. Participant agrees and acknowledges that mousetraps are used within the tour, which may result in bruising, cutting, or breakage of fingers. Article 31. Participant agrees that if selected, they could be buried alive under 12 feet of dirt and rock, to which they will have a limited amount of air, and that they will have to figure out how to escape, and they could possibly breathe in a significant amount of dirt, dust, or foreign objects that may cause death if participant does not breathe properly or hold their breath at the right time. Article 32.
I'm sorry, but fuck all that. That is not happening. I would be beating the brakes off someone. Think you gonna bury me alive, break my fingers with mouse traps? And how dare you even suggest shaving me bald?
Participant agrees to partake if selected to participate in a height stunt that involves walking a plank 25 meters above the ground without a safety net. Article 33. Participant agrees that if selected, they will come into contact with a variety of live, poisonous animals. It's the participant's responsibility to not panic or agitate the animals. If the participant is bitten, it's because the participant made a sudden movement within a confined, secured environment. Many people in the past have signed this waiver after either not reading it properly
They're fucking idiots. They're fucking idiots.
or assuming it was all just designed to frighten them. There's no way the attraction could be that extreme, right? Well, many former participants have come forward saying that McKamey Manor is more than just a game, and that in their eyes, they were undoubtedly the non-consenting victims of torture. Case in point, Amy Mulligan. Amy Mulligan was selected to take part in
Now I know what movie this reminds me of. The house that October built. I think there's two of them. Those good movies.
the McKamey Manor tour
If you've never watched them, give them a watch. Most definitely, they are worth a watch.
when it was still operating in San Diego. Assured that it was all just a game, she willingly signed the waiver and excitedly entered the manor, with high hopes of winning the $20,000 prize. According to Amy though, her experience was more than a game. Along with the cuts and bruises she was warned about, she was also waterboarded, to the point that she almost drowned, and her body started involuntarily thrashing around. She begged for the so-called actors to stop, told them that she couldn't breathe, but they apparently just laughed in her face and told her, "You're not done yet." She continually withdrew her consent, telling them that she wanted the tour to stop, but she was ignored again and again. The actors were enjoying their job too much. In her words, "My hair was wrapped around my neck, and I started to freak out. I'm telling them I can't breathe, and they're just laughing and doing it more." Amy says that she was convinced in that moment that she had entered a house of psychos, and that she wouldn't make it out with her life. Thankfully, she did, and at the end of it all, was asked for a video interview by McKamey. All of the tours at the manor are recorded, so that McKamey can advertise his attraction online. He even has his own YouTube account, where he uploads some of his tours, along with other content, such as these post-tour interviews. In hers, Amy said that despite her traumatic experience, she actually had a great time at the manor. The only reason she said that, however, was because she wanted McKamey to upload her experience on the internet. That way, she'd have proof that she was indeed tortured. Well, McKamey did indeed upload the video of Amy's experience at the manor, but, according to her, he edited out the most extreme parts. Other parts
Go fucking figure. Slick memory jammer right there. No. This is what? It's so fucked up. Oh my god. What is wrong with you, dude? What is wrong with you, sir? There's something wrong with this guy. He's fucked in the head.
thrill seekers have said that they were forced to give positive video interviews at the end of their tours, terrified about what might happen if they didn't. One such person was Laura Hertz Brotherton. Before she was allowed to come to the manor and face her fears, Laura was told that she had to prove her loyalty to McKamey by completing a set of simple tasks. Brotherton found these preliminary tasks to be fun, and it got her excited about her upcoming tour. When the day of her event finally arrived, she was surprised when she met the owner, Russ McKamey himself. Apparently, he was exceptionally cold towards her. Laura had arrived at the manor with her boyfriend. After signing her waiver, the first thing McKamey did was publicly expose an affair Laura was having with another man online. She had secretly engaged with another fan of McKamey Manor on Facebook and started a romantic relationship with him. Laura's boyfriend was actually aware of this, but the wife of her new romantic partner was not. Despite being humiliated, Laura was determined to persevere. McKamey who was apparently morally offended when he found out she was having an affair, remained cold to her for the duration of her tour. And, according to Laura, her experience was much, much more intense than that of other guests at the manor. When asked about her day there, Laura said, "I was waterboarded, I was tased, I was whipped. I still have scars of everything they did to me. I was repeatedly hit in the face, over and over and over again, like open-handed, as hard as a man can hit a woman in the face." Laura went on to add that her mouth was duct-taped, her eyes blindfolded, and that she was submerged in water by her ankles. Just like Amy, she was held under the water for so long that her body began to spasm involuntarily. After this, Laura was forced to dig a hole in the earth with her bare hands. She was then thrown inside said hole before being buried alive with only a small straw through which to breathe. She was left alone underground for 30 minutes. After she was finally unearthed and stopped gasping for breath, she repeated the safe word for several minutes before finally being allowed to leave. Laura, who was admitted to hospital after her tour, later went on to tell the authorities about what happened to her at the manor. She presented them with photos of herself, showing her swollen face, cut and bruised skin, puffy lips, fractured foot, and lumped head. Despite this, the authorities said they couldn't.
Yeah, think they can do shit. You signed a fucking waiver. Oh my god. I'm traumatized. Like this is traumatizing. What the fuck?
Help her due to the waiver that she had signed. Russ McKamey didn't even deny any of the injuries he caused her, and even admitted to exposing her affair online. "Any personal information we have," said McKamey, "we'll use it against you in the tour." Eventually, McKamey Manor was forced to move out of San Diego and relocate to Alabama and Tennessee, two separate locations. McKamey himself says that the move was for financial reasons, though many believe it's because those states would be more likely to side with him if a participant ever tried to sue him, not to mention the bad reputation he and his experience had in the San Diego community. The authorities have been called to the manor multiple times by local residents, appalled by McKamey's unethical practices. One time, the police even found a woman locked in a basement there. She was bruised, shivering, and her mouth was gagged with duct tape. After confirming that what was happening to her was consensual, the authorities had no choice but to leave. So, McKamey Manor is obviously an extreme immersive event, to put it lightly, but even so, everything is supposedly above board and legal. Supposedly being the key word. Here's where a little conspiracy comes into the mix. A few conspiracies, actually. Let's start with the first question. How does McKamey pay for all of this? Like I said before, he doesn't charge anybody to come to the manor. All his guests have to do is bring a bag of dog food. That's not exactly a great business model. With insurance costs, an on-site EMT to pay, actors, and general upkeep, it's estimated that each tour costs him about $500 to put on. McKamey is a US Navy veteran. All of the actors are ex-military too. Where does he find the money to run multiple haunts each weekend? Some theorize that he must make a profit from the tour somehow. As mentioned, all of the tours are filmed with high-quality cameras and lighting. Some people believe that McKamey sells the most extreme footage.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Last time we did a video, old dude got paid like $1,000 donation to beat the living crap out of his girlfriend and throw her outside, and like he took it to drastic measures. Like he beat the shit out of her, ripped her bucket naked, threw water on her, threw her outside in Moscow winter, like -30 degrees. And then come to find out, like, she was in the early stages of pregnancy and shit. Like, there's some fucked people out there, bro.
On the dark web, or perhaps even streams it to paying viewers. Some even think he allows these viewers to vote on what happens to each guest next, and for how long. If we've learned anything from other mysteries on this channel, It's that there are plenty of sick individuals in the world who'd be willing to pay for that kind of content. Others think that McKamey live streams the tours to a betting pool in Las Vegas. If you ain't paying for the product, you are the product kind of thing. McKamey himself claims he doesn't make any money from the tours whatsoever. That sounds suspicious to a lot of folks.
Take a lie detector test, mofo.
And when taking into account the high production quality of his video content, you have to ask yourself, is the manor even real at all? The news stories, controversies, being chased out of San Diego, the excessively grotesque video footage, it could all just be a way to drum up publicity, a viral marketing campaign. Though the manor experience is indeed real, perhaps it's a lot more tame in reality than the stories and media would have us believe. After all, some of the stories that have come out of the manor are so extreme, you have to wonder how McKamey hasn't either been sued into the ground or downright locked up. Sure, he gets his guests to sign a waiver, but could such a waiver even be legally binding? Then again, it's also been claimed that he has been sued many times before, but just hasn't publicly admitted to it. And then there's the question of the $20,000 prize, which may not even exist. Some think that McKamey just uses that as a way to lure people into signing up for his manor experience, as he gets his thrills from inflicting pain on others, and that he only selects people who he and his crew can easily manipulate. Manipulate into obedience, and into not going public with their stories. Russ McKamey maintains that the $20,000 prize is indeed real and very winnable, though one Redditor recalls a Marine who came close to completing the 10-hour-long challenge, only for Russ to call it all off at the very last moment, saying that the guest had had enough and that he was concerned for his safety. In conclusion, McKamey Manor is a place shrouded in a lot of mystery. It's not entirely clear what goes on behind its walls, or more often than not, van walls, but if some of the stories out there are anything to go by, and there are a lot of them, then I personally wouldn't recommend adding your name to the waiting list. There's a series on Netflix called Dark Tourist, where the host visits McKamey Manor. You can check that out if you want to hear and see more about this mysterious place.
I don't think I want no more about it. Oh, hell no. 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 Mm-mm. I've been swinging on everyone. Be like, come at me, bro. But the bag of dog food's sweet. But what if he's not donating it to an animal shelter? What if he eats it? I don't know. There's got to be something shady behind all that. Like $20,000. I mean, don't get me wrong. He probably gets a decent check, but I don't think he'd get that much to put on the shows and pay the 20,000 and oh my God. So yeah, more likely he's selling that content to someone really fucked up. But evidently, there's some really messed up people out there because, like I said in that previous video we watched from him, poor girl died because someone got $1,000 just to beat her up and throw her outside. Okay, so I am now officially traumatized for life. Yay! Oh, good golly, Miss Molly. All right, I'm out. I can't have no. Ooh, no. I cannot handle no more. Mm-mm. My brain's done. My brain is done. If your brain is done as well, hit that like button. We'll smack it around together. Smack it. Just beat the living crap out of it. There you go. Punch it a couple of times for good old Bill 5000. All right. So If you guys are a fan of the spooky, scary, strange, most definitely deranged, this is deranged. Think about subscribing. Because that's what we do. We watch some videos that just make you want to rip your own brain out and throw it away because you'll never forget what we watched. It's going to stick with you. Like stepping in poo or bubble gum. It's going to be there for a minute, bud. As always, be good to one another. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Nah, I ain't signing up for no one to torture nothing. No, my luck, I have like some jumper cables attached to my